The rest of the league thought the Hawks were done. But the dark side of the Force has returned with vengeance.
Yeah. Woohoo! This is stuff. We are in so weak. Yeah. Can't get any better. Hello, welcome to Hawks Recap. We are 32 games into this season, and the Hawks win again. They beat the Jets by a score of 5-1 in Winnipeg. This is the Hawks' fourth straight win. Whoo, the Hawks just might be back, baby. If you're confused by that intro, don't really worry about it. I'm just so pumped for Star Wars, I had to throw something in there. And considering that with our success lately, we've kind of become kind of the bad guys in the NHL, I just felt like doing it, and it was kind of fun. Alright, enough about that though. Let's actually talk about the game. This might have been the Hawks' first full 60 minutes of decent play this season, and if it wasn't 60 minutes, it was a solid 50-something. Let me know, did you think this was the best performance by the Hawks this season? Let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, I thought they played just a tremendous game tonight. The Hawks, I know the Jets got a lot of opportunities in that third period, but I think that had to do more with the Jets being down 3+ goals and just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the Hawks rather than the Hawks not playing well or not playing for 60 minutes. Does that make sense? Now, the Hawks came into this game riding a big 3-game winning streak, their first 3-game winning streak of the season, a big homestand where they won all 3 games. Now, many people would point out that they played 3 bottom-tier teams you would expect to beat if you're going to be fighting for a playoff spot, and the Hawks didn't necessarily win convincingly in any of them. They had to go into overtime for a couple of them. So the question remained, could the Hawks continue that winning streak against a better opponent, a top level or top tier opponent such as the Jets, away from home? Could they do that? Especially considering that the Hawks haven't really played all that well against Central Division opponents this year. The Hawks kind of showed they can. It seemed like the Hawks put a really good foot forward in turning around that Central Division record they have and giving this season a bit more momentum with their first 4-game winning streak. It seems like it's kind of solidified. This winning streak is for real. When you're playing away from home against a good team, one of the things you really want to try and do is start fast and take the home crowd out of it. And the Hawks really did that in this game where they scored the opening goal in under 2 minutes of play. Hartman and Sharp create a turnover at the opposing blue line. Sharp and Hinostroza on a 2-on-1. Sharp to Hinostroza for the one-timer. Goes 5-hole on Hellebuyck, and the Hawks are up early 1-0. That would be Hinostroza's first goal of the season in his 3rd game since being called up. He really dominated the AHL, and it seems like he's kind of starting to fit in more at the NHL level. Good to see him kind of hitting his stride a little bit here. And then 6 minutes into this game, the Hawks would extend their lead to 2 when Tommy Wingels finds kind of an open area, gets a pass from Boma, and he's left all alone. I don't know what the Jets defense was thinking, but Wingels buries the shot, rings off the post and in, and the Hawks are up 2-0. 2 goals on 2 shots, both goals coming from hometown boys. The Hawks would not be done in this first period, as a little past halfway point in the period, the Hawks would extend their lead. Forechecking, they create a turnover. Patrick Kane would get the puck back to Duncan Keith at the point. He would rip a slap shot on that. Lots of traffic in front. I love it. Schmaltz redirects the puck past Hellebuyck, and the Hawks have a 3-0 lead 10 minutes into this game. 3 goals on 5 shots. Now that's what I call efficiency. Will Hellebuyck get pulled? It kind of seems like that might be the case. The Hawks outshoot the Jets 12-6 in that first period. Hellebuyck would stay in the game for the remainder of the game. But the Hawks defense doing a really good job, really shutting down and not letting the Jets' high-powered offense really get going. And with the 3 goals in the first period, that crowd was not really into it. Now, I know I say this a lot, but it holds true. You just can't win a game in the first period alone. You're going to have to expect the Jets to come out firing, come out hard in the second period, and you're going to have to continue playing your game as solidly as you did in the first, and the Hawks would do that. They, once again, had a solid defensive effort. Kempny on defense for the first time in many games, replacing John Rutta, who was out with an upper body injury, pretty much a concussion. And with Cody Franzen on IR, Kempny steps in, and I thought the entire defense really just stepped up, him included, in this game to really shut down the Jets and not allow them to get back into this game in the second period. And then with about 9 minutes left in the second period, the Hawks would capitalize on their quality play when the Hawks would have sustained offensive zone pressure. Connor Murphy would take a shot from the point. Big rebound from Hellebuck. Schmaltz gets there and does his best Patrick Kane impression. Spinorama, no-look pass. And Kane is like, okay, I'll take it. One-timer, open net. Kane scores. And Hawks are up 4-0 midway through this game. St. Nick Schmaltz. Oof. What a play. One of the things I really liked about the second period was there's multiple times where the Jets, after the whistle, would try and get the Hawks to commit a penalty, try and kind of get in their face a little bit, but the Hawks did a really solid job not taking the bait, not retaliating, playing smart, and not letting the Jets get an easy power play opportunity to try and get back into this game. The Hawks would take that 4-0 lead into the third period, and then about 5.5 minutes into that final frame, Nick Schmaltz would get called for tripping, and the Jets would go on the power play. 5 seconds into that power play, Ehlers would score to give the Jets their first goal. Crawford kind of leaning one way, trying to see around Seabrook, who was kind of screening his own goaltender there, and Ehlers just sniped it short side, and all of a sudden, the crowd's kind of back into it. Then about 10 seconds after that goal, Forsling kind of whiffs on a pass, and the puck gets away from him, and all of a sudden Patrick Lane is one-on-one with Corey Crawford. Patrick Lane snipes it, gets it by Crawford, but it would hit the crossbar. Whew! That's a close one. That could have led to a very, very different third period. The Jets would continue to push and give it everything they got, try and get a goal to cut that lead down. But Corey Crawford just outstanding, makes some huge saves. He made some really good saves throughout the entire game. Not necessarily spectacular looking saves, but a lot of saves that there was a lot of traffic in front and he had to fight and see around a lot of stuff to make these saves. He was absolutely fantastic in this game. And then a little under 8.5 minutes into the third period, Kempny with the puck rushing into the zone, a 3-on-2 rush for the Hawks, and Kempny decides to just wind up, dun, 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 just rips a slap shot by Hellebuck, post and in. It might have glanced off a defender's stick, but nonetheless, it's a goal, and it completely shuts down the Jets' hopes at a comeback. A big goal from a guy who hasn't played a whole lot of hockey as of lately, just because of a numbers game on the defensive side, not really because he's been poor. The Hawks just have 8 pretty darn good defensemen with 6 spots available. That's a really good problem to have. It sucks for guys like Kempny and Osterley, but it's been years since we've had top-to-bottom quality defense. We may not have an elite top 4 like the Predators, but 1 through 6, we don't really have any weak links. That's kind of nice. The Hawks would finish off the period and win this game by a score of 5-1. And the last 3 games the Hawks won, those were against bottom tier teams, but those 3 wins were wins that the Hawks really needed. They were in desperate need of a winning streak like that. Didn't matter who the opponents were. But then to win this game against a top team like the Jets, or a really good team like the Jets, even though they didn't have a player like Dustin Byfuglien in their lineup, that's another quality stepping stone for the Hawks this season and can really help them believe in themselves and push forward here for this middle part of the season. Up next, they play the Wild at home, and if they could win that game, the Wild being just above them in the standings, that would be another big stepping stone for this team. I know it can be a little depressing looking up at the standings right now, and with these 4 wins not making up a whole lot of ground just because the other Central Division teams are winning as well. This is the Thunderdome. The Central Division is a very, very good division once again. It's not going to be easy, but there's a whole lot of hockey left to be played this year. We just got to keep our head down, take one step at a time, keep playing good hockey, and we will climb up these standings. We will. Just keep going at it. Just keep clawing at it. It's not going to happen overnight. But if we keep playing the way we're doing, we will climb back into a playoff position. I can guarantee you that. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the game and the team's performance down in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it if you do that. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions. May the force be with you, and I'll see you next time.